Today on SPN, Luke Kobus will be giving us a sneak peek on Nintendo Switch Mini Direct.
And Andre will be talking about the upcoming Super Bowl.
SPN starts now. Good morning, Wolfpack. My name is Diego Peraza.
And my name is Jonathan Fuero. And this is your SPN news for the day.
Students, a reminder that Spirit Week is underway. Stay tuned for announcements that are coming your way.
Also, once again, do not to lose your student IDs or else you will be charged $25 for a new ID. Keep those IDs on you at all times. And now, let's send it up to Andre with your sports.
There are many problems occurring in our country as of now, but poverty has been rising at a concerning rate even as our nation still stands as one of the richest in the world. More than 30 million people lack nutritious food, warm housing, and clothing to support their families. What we could donate in our spare time could sometimes make a tremendous difference in other less fortunate lives. It's officially been estimated by the U.S. Census Bureau that over 40 million Americans were under the poverty line in 2015. As of 2016, the reports still show an over 40 million high in poverty. With these factors in mind, it shouldn't be hard to feel any empathy towards these struggling individuals. So once in a while when you have the free time, help a poor person in need with a kind donation at your local charity.
The new console for the Nintendo lineup, which arrived earlier this year, has proved to be a success, outselling the PS4 and the Xbox One. The latest installment of the Mario franchise is about to come out this week, Super Mario Odyssey. After the success to the Ubisoft crossover tactical role-playing game Mario + Rabbids Kingdom Battle, there's no doubt another Mario game is coming to the Switch. There's more in store for the Switch like Sonic Forces and Xenoblade Chronicles 2. It's looking good for the Switch as we speak. Another bit of news from Satoshi, the creator of Pokemon. He stated in an interview that Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon will be the last Pokemon titles for the 3DS, and we will be expected a new generation of Pokemon, or possibly a Switch version of Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Well, what will the future for the Switch hold for it? We will know sooner or later. This is Luke Kobus reporting for SPN.
Good morning, Wolfpack. This is Christopher Telesio here for local news. Well, it seems that recent records are showing that Donald Trump had a heightened record of outsourcing jobs compared to the Obama administration, with 93,000 in its first year. Also a bit is the midterm elections showing positive results for progressive candidates. This isn't necessarily going for Democrats, however, due to the many factors going with Michigan and Pennsylvania having humongous risks, and Trump had surprisingly won off those states. However, what's going on for certain is that there is a very much heightened anti-incumbent feel that are going to be going out for many candidates for this congressional year. This has been Christopher Telesio here for local news.
My Friend Dahmer is the film adaptation of John Durf Backdurf's hit graphic novel of the same name and tells the terrifyingly true story of arguably the most notorious serial killer in American history, Jeffrey Dahmer. The film follows a younger Jeffrey Dahmer who is making his way through high school, struggling with his own inner demons and struggles with fitting in.
Wait, Dahmer?
The two leads are Jeffrey Dahmer, played excellently by former Disney Channel star Ross Lynch, and John Backdurf, played by former Nickelodeon child actor Alex Wolff. The story shows significant events that took place in Jeffrey Dahmer's life and gives an idea on what truly made Jeffrey Dahmer the monster he was known to be. Essentially, it is the origin story of a serial killer. My Friend Dahmer is a movie that uses cinematic language at its finest. This is ironic seeing as how throughout the movie there are entire scenes where dialogue is completely lacking. In cinema there is a phrase that pertains to storytelling done right, and it is show, don't tell. This is probably the film's best quality, as many of the scenes Jeffrey Dahmer is in, he is mainly silent. This shows the struggle he is feeling inside, and it allows the audience to make their own guesses on what's going through his head. One of the things that made Jeffrey Dahmer so famous is what makes this movie so great. The mystery behind the man and why he is the way he is never revealed. The film constantly plays with the audience's minds and heartstrings. This is due to the fact that Jeffrey Dahmer's real-life backstory was in and of itself a horror story, a very sad, lonely, and depressing horror story. The film addresses aspects of Dahmer's real-life past that have either been vaguely talked about or never at all. And what makes it all seem so real is the performances not just from the co-stars, but from Ross Lynch himself. Ross Lynch is so convincing as a young Jeffrey Dahmer that it almost seems inhuman, and at times, a little too real. What makes this work is that for a good majority of the movie, he barely speaks, and when he does speak, it's small sentences for very brief moments. Ross Lynch's best moments actually tend to be when he's not saying anything at all, and he's just standing with a blank expression or an angry and tortured look on his face. It shows you that you don't need someone to say how they feel for you to know when it comes to cinema. Another thing that made this performance especially terrifying is that Ross Lynch actually looks like young Jeffrey Dahmer when he was in high school. Also, Alex Wolff plays a very likable John Bachdorf. He feels like an actual teenager, and you can tell he's taking the role very seriously. One thing I really admire about the film is also its locations. They actually filmed the movie in Jeffrey Dahmer's real-life home, which is also the same place where he committed his first murder. Another thing that really makes this movie unique is that it connects with its audiences through its camera work and dialogue. There are certain scenes in the film where something actually happened in Jeffrey Dahmer's life, and through some means or gestures, the movie in a sense tells you, yes, this actually happened. The movie also has a lot of controversy surrounding it, with some people saying that Bachdorf is attempting to justify what Jeffrey Dahmer did. In the graphic novel, however, he states that this is complete nonsense, and that Jeffrey Dahmer's origins are no excuse for the terrible crimes that he committed. He believes that Jeffrey Dahmer is one to be pitied, but never to be empathized with or justified. It also really gives you an insight on what bullying or simple friendly banter can do to someone. Even if they make it seem like they're okay, they might not be. It allows a different perspective into the mind of someone who says something but is thinking something else. But as explored in the movie, no one cared about what Jeffrey Dahmer's thoughts were until it was too late. In the end, My Friend Dahmer is filled with storytelling exceptional enough to satisfy anyone who would rather be showed what's going on rather than be told, and has a performance so eerie and creepy that much like the real Jeffrey Dahmer, it is simply too scary to forget about.
This is not a sideshow attraction.
Are you okay?
Get out of your shell. You need to be more normal.
I'm just like anybody else.
Well, that's all we have for today, and I hope you have a wonderful Spirit Week.
And also, have an awesome day.